y'all, so I am 22 weeks and 3 days today. So these past couple weeks have been crazy, which is the reason why I didn't have a video last week. But the really exciting thing is that I did go to the north as promised, and I did tell the family that I have in the north what the baby is, the gender, so I can finally announce it, which I actually uploaded a video already announcing the baby's gender. So if you did not watch that, go ahead, watch that right now. I'll put a link in the bottom bar so you can go watch that video and see what the baby is. But yes, we are having a little baby boy, so I'm so excited. I'm so glad that I can finally, talk about it on here, and that way I can just say he instead of having, because there are so many times where I had to like edit out, where I'd be like, oh yeah, and then he did this, and then I'd have to like edit it out and be like, the baby did this, and so finally I can just tell y'all that it is a little boy, and I am so excited. I thought that it was a little boy from the beginning, so I really wasn't that surprised when the little blue balloons popped out of the box. That's how we did the gender reveal, like a month ago. But yeah, so that's really fun, and I'm very excited to be having a little boy. So plans for the nursery have begun. Things are a little bit different. I am in college, and I have about 3 semesters left, so about a year and a half left until I graduate. The plan is to live with my parents until then. It'll just be better money-wise. I can save, and having my parents around, of course they both work full-time, but after they get home from work and stuff like that, they've already said that they're really willing to help me out with him, with the baby, if I need help, especially being in school, if I just need like an hour for them to take him and then me to just, be able to do like homework or whatever, take like an online test or something. So I will be doing that, but because of that, we don't want to do like a huge, like super extensive nursery, just because the baby and I will only be here for, about hopefully around a year and a half to 2 years. I mean, I know that's kind of still a long time, but not super long, just until I graduate and can get a full-time job and then, have enough money just to get an apartment for us. And so what we are doing, we have a room that we call the study, and it has kind of a lot of furniture in it right now. We're taking some of the furniture out, but there will be still a bed in the room with him and a filing cabinet. And I mean, the filing cabinet is what it is. The bed, I honestly don't really think that's a bad thing, because that way if I like really need to, when I'm trying to transition him into his crib, I can just, have a bed in that room and not have to like walk back and forth if I really need to. So there's that, but we will be getting him like a crib and a dresser and a little rocker, and I do have plans to go ahead and paint the room, so I'll keep you all updated on that. Nothing has like started yet exactly, but I'm starting to get ideas on what I want to do, so that's really fun, and I'm excited to finally get all that put together for him. I think I talked about this last time. I do have a name that I am pretty much set on. The father had originally expressed that he didn't really like it that much, or like thought it was only okay, and I haven't heard much from him about it since then, so I'm still holding out hope that that will be the baby's name, but I'm not gonna like say it yet, and be like, the baby's name is this, and then like have to change it. I would be a little heartbroken if I did have to change it, but that's just life. We have to see kind of how that goes. So yeah, I do have my appointment tomorrow for them to check up. If you haven't watched my previous video, you can go ahead and watch it. I put like the whole big explanation in there, but just as like a small explanation, my cervix, the last time I went in to like get an ultrasound, which was 20 weeks, my cervix was measuring too thin, and so they're worried that if it gets any thinner that I'd be at risk for preterm labor, and so they want to keep an eye on that, and so I am going in tomorrow. It's been 2 weeks since then, but yeah, so they will go ahead and just check up on that again, see how that goes, and then kind of fill me in on whether it's gotten any thinner, whether it's still the same, and just how they think we should move forward from then. I have felt fine. I felt normal. I've had little not like aches and pains, but little creaks or like little, you know, like cramps and stretching ligaments and stuff like that, which is like not painful at all. But yeah, but that's, I mean, that's all normal. It's like, I've not had anything that I think, of course I've never been pregnant before, but that I think is really out of the ordinary. So I'm not super worried. Obviously I hope everything goes okay, but I'm not freaking out about it. I think that everything's going to be fine. So I guess we will get to see tomorrow. One thing that's kind of not worried me, but has been different, I guess, is that for a while I felt him like really clearly, pretty much like around once a day, like around 10 or 11 at night. I would almost always feel him in there kicking, and it was pretty distinct, and I was like, I know that's him, and you know, sometimes I could feel it on the outside, and it was really fun. And recently it's probably been only like every couple days that I've really felt him at all. And even when I do feel him, it's not as like distinct as it was before. It is, you know, very much so like, it's like I describe it as like, before it was like him specifically like kicking or like punching or like whatever, whereas now it feels like he's just squirming. You know, it feels like he's just like adjusting his position or like something like that. Of course, you know, he's not big enough for me to tell exactly what he's doing in there yet. But that's what it feels like, because it's not as like hard or like distinct, but it is like something going on in there that like I know isn't like is him, because it's not something that I've ever felt before. So that freaks me out a little bit, because I'm like, why is he not like kicking as much as he used to be? I do know that my placenta is in the front, and so my midwife had told me that I wouldn't feel him as much, especially not in the front of my stomach. I would feel him more in like the sides of my stomach once like I started feeling him, which I had already started feeling him at this point, but he was still really, really low. So I don't know if he's maybe just adjusted and he's moved up some, and you know, he's starting to like hit the placenta more. I don't know exactly like how that all works in specifics, so I don't know if that makes any sense or if that just is completely illogical. I don't really know. That's the only thing I can really think, is maybe he's like moved up and so he's like hitting the placenta more and I can't like feel it. I do, like I said, every once in a while I still do feel him, which is obviously good. So, you know, I know he's in there, I know he's good and everything, but I'm definitely going to ask about that tomorrow as to like why I've not been feeling him as much as I used to. But yeah, I was reading on my app, I can't remember exactly what they said it was this week. I don't know where my phone is, but they said that the baby's around, I want to say like that big, which is crazy and like so exciting, because that, I mean, that's big. And then I was like also reading on my app, and it shows like a little picture of like what the baby, you know, would sort of look like, and he's like turning into a real baby, and he looks so cute. And I just remember back when he was like a little tadpole looking thing, and I was like, this is ridiculous, and he was like this big, and now he's like this big, and he looks like a baby, and I mean, that's just really, really exciting. Yeah, my sister-in-law's, I don't know if I talked about this before as to why I was going back to the north. I was going back to the north for a couple of days because my sister-in-law is pregnant, and she is 3 months ahead of me, and so when we went, they like surprised, my mom and I went, and they like surprised us. They had made an appointment to like, my sister-in-law is 35, or was 35 weeks, and they had made an appointment to go see like the 3D, 4D ultrasound for their little girl. So that was really, really cool, because for one, I mean, obviously this is like my first niece, and I don't have a nephew, and so like this is my first, you know, niece/nephew. I don't know, for grandparents you have like grandchild as opposed to just being like granddaughter, grandson, but I feel like for niece or nephew you don't have anything, it's just niece or nephew. Anyway, but it's like my first niece/nephew, and so that was really exciting. Getting to see her, I'm so excited for her to come, but it was also a really cool experience, because I'm like, that's what my little man is going to look like, you know, like obviously he's going to be slightly different because it's a different baby and a little boy and everything, but like, I mean, it was so, so cool, and it just makes me look forward so much to like when I'm in her position and I'm 35 weeks and I can go in and get that kind of ultrasound, and I'm so close to when he's coming, and it just makes me really, really excited, so that's going to be fun. My sister-in-law had actually asked me about like shortness of breath, if I had started experiencing that at all, and I told her no, which was true. And then a couple nights ago, my mom and I were out eating and I started feeling short of breath, and I was like, this is so weird. I feel like I can like you can talk, but you just, I don't know, like I haven't felt it again. Like it's not something that I felt a lot. I know it's gonna get a lot worse as he grows. But it was just funny that she had, you know, just asked me about that, and I was like, no, I've not really had any of that. And then I like started feeling that. So that's one thing that I've had. I think that's pretty much it for this week though. I'm pretty much to the stage where like most of my symptoms have leveled out, and even the ones that I'm still dealing with, you guys already pretty much know about, because like I've been having it. One thing I have been craving, again, I don't think I've said this before, I've been craving Tootsie Roll Pops, which is kind of weird. I've always liked Tootsie Roll Pops if like if they like presented themselves and they were like right there and I could have one, but it's never been something I've like sought out, like, oh, I'm gonna go to the store and buy some Tootsie Roll Pops. But now I am like that because this little boy just really likes Tootsie Roll Pops, and so I have about 2 probably a day. I definitely limit it, but I definitely crave those and kind of always have those around, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all my belly. Alright, y'all. So here is my belly for this week. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's not super big yet. It definitely gets bigger. I know I've said that before, but throughout the day it definitely gets bigger. But this is what I've got right now. The shirt up. Or with the shirt on. And then pull this down with the shirt up. So it has been a couple weeks since I've measured. I think I was at like 37 something or other. Last time, it looks like this time I'm actually still at about 37 and a half, which I think is kind of where I was last time. So that actually isn't that different. I thought I had definitely grown a lot, but I guess not. Alright guys, so that is it for week 22. Make sure to stay tuned for week 23. I will be updating y'all about the I will be updating y'all about the cervix situation and how the doctor's appointment went and all of that stuff. And yeah, I will see y'all next week. Bye.